Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're completely reimagining leadership development for the modern workforce. We're talking about a fundamental shift in how talent is nurtured, how leaders are formed, and how organizations operate at their absolute peak. For decades, we've leaned on a very specific traditional model of coaching. But as we look toward 2025, 2026, and all the way to 2030, that old model is definitely showing some serious cracks. Get ready, because we are officially entering the era of the micro-coaching revolution.
To wrap our heads around why this revolution is happening right now, we first have to look at the sheer scale of the industry. The global coaching market just hit an explosive $5.34 billion. Think about that. There are over 122,000 active coach practitioners worldwide. Demand for human development and guidance is literally higher than it's ever been in history. People are desperately seeking structure, confidence, and follow-through in this rapidly changing world of ours. But here's the catch. Despite this massive revenue and record-breaking growth, there's a hidden structural bottleneck that's completely blocking true scalability.
Okay, let's dive into this and look at where the system actually breaks down. Despite those billions of dollars being spent, recent surveys reveal a pretty shocking truth. Only 23% of employees actually receive the coaching support they need to thrive. That means a staggering 77% of the workforce is just left behind. Traditional coaching is usually reserved for the C-suite or upper management simply because it's incredibly resource-intensive. We've essentially built an industry that leaves the vast majority of our teams without that crucial day-to-day support. And you know what? The reason for this massive gap isn't a lack of desire. It's a lack of time. Right now, coaches are losing an average of 1.25 hours a day just to administrative tasks. We're talking scheduling, taking notes, sending follow-up emails, chasing payments. That is nearly a full working day lost every single week. It absolutely proves that the traditional one-on-one 60-minute session model simply cannot scale. You just can't democratize coaching to an entire organization if the delivery mechanism is totally bogged down by manual admin.
So what does this all mean for us? What's the solution? Well, we have to contrast the old model with the agile coaching snack of the future. Traditional coaching relies on these heavy 60-minute sessions, often spaced weeks apart, and they usually cover broad, overarching themes. But modern professionals, they demand flexibility. They're dealing with back-to-back meetings and constantly shifting priorities. Micro-coaching completely flips the script. It operates in quick 10 to 20-minute bursts, or even daily and weekly digital nudges that are hyper-specific to the exact problem an employee is facing that very day.
Let's clearly define what this actually looks like in practice. Micro-coaching consists of short, highly focused coaching interventions or integrated daily nudges that offer immediate application to target specific challenges. It is the absolute ultimate solution for time-constrained leaders. Instead of pulling someone out of their workflow for a whole hour to talk about communication skills in the abstract, micro-coaching delivers a highly relevant insight directly into their Slack or Microsoft Teams right before they walk into a difficult conversation. It's learning delivered right in the actual flow of daily work.
Now, what's truly fascinating is how this solves arguably the biggest failure of corporate training. I'm talking about the forgetfulness curve. When you learn something on day one in a traditional hour-long session, that information rapidly decays in your brain. By day 3, you've probably forgotten most of it. But micro-coaching brilliantly intercepts this memory decay. By delivering a quick, contextual nudge on day 3 and then another on day 7, it uses spaced repetition to effectively embed the behavior. It forces the transfer of leadership skills from abstract theory directly into workplace reality.
This brings us to a really powerful realization. Incremental steps are often more sustainable than massive overhauls. Let's be honest. Trying to completely rewire an employee's behavior in a single, intense coaching block often just leads to burnout and change fatigue. But small, consistent, and context-specific wins, those compound over time. They build serious momentum without disrupting the employee's productivity. It's all about changing a habit one tiny, totally manageable step at a time.
But how do we ensure these tiny steps are actually useful and not just generic boilerplate corporate advice? Well, that comes down to the underlying mechanics. Micro-coaching is supercharged by psychometrics. By integrating validated behavioral assessments like DISC, the Enneagram, or the 16 types, these micro-nudges are no longer random tips. They become deeply rooted in real behavioral data, which allows the coaching to become highly personalized to the exact individual receiving it. It's like having a custom playbook tailored just for you.
And this brilliantly illustrates what happens when you unlock the power of context. Because the system actually knows your behavioral profile, it matches your individual work style perfectly. It can guide real-time conflict resolution because it knows exactly how you handle stress compared to your teammate. It even tailors your communication for much better collaboration. Say you have a meeting with a colleague who approaches problem-solving way differently than you do. The system gives you a nudge on how to speak their language right beforehand. It hits you exactly when you need it most, rather than weeks after a miscommunication already blew up.
So what happens when you combine this incredible level of personalization with mobile-first delivery? You get massive, off-the-charts engagement. Research shows that gamifying these micro-learning nudges, using things like streaks, visual progress dashboards, and skill trees, can actually trigger dopamine loops in the brain. This boosts employee engagement with the coaching material by up to 80%. It completely transforms professional development from a mandatory, boring task into an interactive, daily habit that employees actually look forward to doing.
And hey, this isn't just about making people feel good at work, this is about hard business outcomes. When we connect this massive engagement data directly to performance, the results are pretty undeniable. Organizations that foster this kind of continuous, scalable coaching culture report that 62% of their employees are highly engaged. Even better, 51% of these organizations report higher revenues compared to their peers. A strong micro-coaching framework doesn't just develop talent, it actively drives serious revenue for the bottom line.
So a really crucial point here is understanding the technology that is actually making all of this scalable at an enterprise level. We're talking about artificial intelligence. Now, I know there's a lot of anxiety about AI in the coaching world, but we need to reframe it. AI is the ultimate predictive assistant. It is absolutely not a human replacement. AI excels at analyzing data, pattern recognition, and managing schedules, and that frees up the human coach to do what they do best: provide empathy, nuanced judgment, and deep personal connection. It's augmenting human capability, not erasing it.
Let's walk through exactly how this AI predictive workflow is going to operate in organizations by 2030. Step 1. The AI analyzes a behavioral gap or an upcoming challenge in an employee's calendar. Step 2. It cross-references that exact scenario with the employee's psychometric data and the data of their team. Step 3. It seamlessly delivers a highly targeted pre-meeting nudge right into their workflow. It's incredibly responsive, it's immediate, and it is perfectly tailored to the friction point of that specific day. It's a total game changer.
Let's move to and see how this builds a broader vision over time. In 2024, we were still largely in an era of scheduled, admin-heavy, one-on-one sessions. Now, stepping into 2025 and 2026, the baseline shifts completely to a mobile-first delivery model, where up to 80% of learning content is personalized by AI. And by 2030, we arrive at a fully predictive, just-in-time ecosystem. Coaching will no longer be an event you have to awkwardly schedule. It'll be a continuous, intelligent environment that you operate within, anticipating your needs before you even realize you have them.
Which brings us to the ultimate question you really need to be asking yourself today. Is your talent development model ready for the micro-coaching revolution? Are you still relying on the unscalable, admin-heavy bottlenecks of the past? Or are you ready to embrace context-specific, data-driven, continuous support that actually reaches every single person in your organization? The tools to completely democratize leadership development are here right now. The only question is how quickly you'll adapt. Take this away and really think about it. The future of your team's growth depends on it. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and we'll see you next time.